few housekeeping notes before we begin our today's program. First, I would like to seek your cooperation in completing the seminar. Kindly switch your mobile phones to silent mode to avoid interruption. Maintain the decorum throughout the session, and I would request everyone to ask their doubts or queries from our dignitary presenters. Any question before we begin our today's program. First, I would like to seek your cooperation in completing the seminar. Kindly switch your mobile phone to silent mode to avoid interruption. Maintain the decorum throughout the session, and I would request everyone to ask their doubts or queries from our dignitary presenters. Thank you for your cooperation and attention. The pursuit of knowledge, jnana, wisdom, pragya, and truth, satya, was always considered in Indian thought and philosophy as the highest human goal. The aim of education in ancient India was not just the acquisition of the knowledge as a preparation for life in this world or life beyond schooling, but for the complete realization and liberation of the self as stated in the National Education Policy 2020. A very good morning to one and all present here. It gives me an immense pleasure to be a moderator of this seminar. I, Bhavya Bhardwaj, on the behalf of Bhavan's Leelavati Munshi College of Education, in collaboration with Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, Shimla, would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you on one-day national conference on NEP 2020 and amalgamation of tradition and modernity. Session number 4. To begin this program, I am pleased to welcome our today's seminar chairperson, Dr. Shweta Dubey, Associate Professor, Faculty of Home Science, Banasthali, Vidyapeeth, Rajasthan, and our co-chairpersons, Ms. Namrata Kunwar, Assistant Professor, DLMC, and Ms. Sarima Bali, Assistant Professor, DLMC. Before we start, I would like to share a brief history of Bharati Vidya Bhavan and Leelavati Munshi College of Education with all of you. Bharati Vidya Bhavan, dedicated to the promotion of education, art, and culture, is a charitable public trust founded by Dr. K.M. Munshi on 7th November 1938. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the first president of India, laid the foundation or stone of the Bhavan's Delhi Kendra on 31st March and inaugurated the same on 16th May 1957. What began as a modest effort of visionary has now become a global network comprising 114 centers in India and 7 centers overseas. In year 2002, the most prestigious Gandhi Peace Prize Award was awarded to Bharati Vidya Bhavan by President of India for its significant contribution towards education and promotion of peace and harmony among all the faiths and communities. Bharati Vidya Bhavan is a bridge between science and spirituality. Bhavan's idea is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, world is one family. So coming to the Bhavan's Leelavati Munshi College of Education, it is one of the most prominent additions in the galaxy of institutions under Bharati Vidya Bhavan. It has been established in 2016 with the recognition of NCTE and is affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi. Bharati Vidya Bhavan, being a charitable institution and genuinely serving the cause of education, established this college in order to cater the ever-expanding needs and requirements of quality teachers and educators who can bring about a transformative change in the lives and personalities of their students. This college is geared towards providing avenues for developing teachers and educators across levels, elementary level, secondary, and the senior secondary level as well. Now, I would like to request Ms. Namrata ma'am to share some words with us, with all of us, for our chairperson of today's session.
Thank you so much, Bhavya. A very warm good afternoon to one and all present over here. I feel indeed privileged to get this opportunity to introduce the chairperson of this technical session 4, Dr. Shweta Dubey. Ma'am is presently working as Associate Professor, Human Development, Faculty of Home Science, Banasthali, Vidyapeeth, Rajasthan. She has 24 years of experience of university teaching. She has done her MSc in Home Science in Child Development from Banasthali, Vidyapeeth. Diploma in Clinical Hypnotherapy from CHI USA, NLP Diploma and Practitioners from Mind Masters Trivandrum, Basic Training of Gestalt Therapy from CAPS Trivandrum, and Certificate of Life Skill Education from Christ University, Bengaluru. She is also a trained counselor and life coach. She has attended more than 50 international and national seminars, conferences, workshops, presented more than 50 papers, and has got many articles published in various journals of repute. Ma'am has been conferred with various awards such as Swami Vivekananda National Award 2020, Jagat Guru Shri Krishna Samman 2020, Best Counseling Psychologist 2016, Inquisitive Achiever for Professional Education for her contribution. She is also life member of HSAI, AIAHE, ISC, RSA, and other reputed associations. Her major areas of interest are ECCE, guidance and counseling, personality development, special education and elderly, women and child health. We welcome you, ma'am.
Now, I would like to request Ms. Garima ma'am to felicitate our chairperson with a beautiful form. Thank you, ma'am. I would request Ms. Namrita ma'am to extol our chairperson with Bhavan's publication. Without further ado, I would like to share the rules of today's seminar with our presenters. Each presenter will get 15 minutes in total to present his or her topic. After 8 minutes, a signal will be given to them so that they can wind up their presentation in the remaining parts. And please share your presentation with the main gist rather than reading your whole paper. Ma'am, I would request you to give your permission to start the program. For the first presentation, I would like to invite Ms. Dr. Meenakshi Sharma, Assistant Professor, B.Ed Department, Kamal Institute of Higher Education and Advanced Technology, Mohan Garden, and Mrs. Vandana Tandon, Research Scholar, APJ Abdul Kalam University, to present their paper on the topic Vision and Mission of National Education Policy 2020 for School Education.
Very good morning to one and all present there. Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Acha, one more thing, let me allow to share my screen.
Just give me 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay, sure.
Now you are able to share, I think.
Okay.
Are you able to share now, ma'am?
Yes, I think.
Yes,
Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, very good afternoon to one and all present there on the dais and off the dais, all the faculty members and all my friends there present there. And first of all, a very happy Teachers' Day to all of you at the bottom of my heart. And I must say thank you for BLMC to provide me this opportunity to present the paper. And I'm very happy that my paper has been selected for this session. And now I want permission to present my paper. Am I?
Yes, ma'am. You may please continue. You may please.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much.
Ma'am,
So,
if you please put your slide on F5 mode so
Yeah.
that it becomes.
Yes, sure. Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am, it's fine now. Now I request Malika ma'am to please switch off, turn off your microphone. All others are also requested to please turn off your microphone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So today is my papers. I'm presenting the paper on vision and mission of National Education Policy 2020 for school education, especially because the NEP has many things for schools this time. According to, I must say that according to M.K. Gandhi, education is all round drawing out of the best in the child and man, body, soul, and spirit. Means all over sides of body. As well as R.N. Tagore or Rabindranath Tagore, Gurudev said that education is the process of development of whole man, not merely intellectual development of the individual. It also emphasizes the physical, moral, and spiritual aspects of human personality. As in NAP, it has been said that, yes, the development should be all-round development. The objectives of my study is to focus on the vision, mission of 2020, NEP 2020, key principles of national education policy, and to discuss the curriculum or pedagogy of NEP 2020. And my research methodologies, of course, a conceptual discussion consists on the basis of research and analytical method, on the basis of journals, research papers, websites, which are there to describe the NEP 2020. When we see at a look or over a look on the policy, it was introduced earlier in 1964. And we can say that the newest policy has replaced 34 years old NEP 1986. First of all, this education policy was implemented within 1986 when Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi were there under their guardianship. The policy was revived within the year 1992 when P.V. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister of the Program of Action. The third education policy was released on July 29, 2020 under PM Shri Narendra Modi with the recommendations of experts members headed by Krishna Swami Kasturi Ranganathan. And he was the previous chairman of Indian Space Research Organization or ISRO. The policy, when we talk about the policy or when we talk about the vision of the NEP 2020, so the policy is made on the fundamental pillars, and the pillars are access, equality, quality, affordability, accountability. यानी वो सारी ही चीजें जो कि शिक्षा के लिए अनिवार्य हैं. For developing a deep respect towards किस चीज पर कि हमारी जो basic duties हैं या constitutional values जो आज कहीं ना कहीं खत्म होते दिखाई दे रहे हैं, जिनके वजह से एक देश जो है एक सूत्र में बंध सकता है. और इसी के साथ में हम सभी को जागृत करने की आवश्यकता है कि हम सभी के अंदर कॉन्शियस आए, अवेयरनेस आए कि हमारी कुछ ड्यूटीज ही नहीं, हमारे कुछ राइट्स ही नहीं बल्कि ड्यूटीज भी होते हैं. वी हैव अ रोल, वी हैव टू प्ले अ रोल, वी हैव रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू प्ले, ताकि जो हमारा विश्व है वो एक साथ आगे बढ़ सके. उसमें जितनी भी जरूरत है हम चेंजेस लाने की या बदलाव लाने की जो आवश्यकता है वो हो सके. इनकलकेटिंग अ डीप सेंस ऑफ प्राइड अमंग स्टूडेंट्स, अपने आप को वो गर्व से कहें कि हम हिंदुस्तानी हैं, अपने आप से वो गर्व से कहें कि हमारे अंदर भारतीयता है, जो आत्मा है, इंटेलेक्ट है, बुद्धि है. इसके अलावा जो नॉलेज है, स्किल्स, वैल्यूज, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, कमिटमेंट टू ह्यूमन राइट्स, सस्टेनेबिलिटी, ये सारी चीजें जो हैं एनईपी के विजन है, यानी वो चाहती है कि ऐसा सब कुछ हो. When we talk about the mission, तो there is preparation for schooling, elementary schooling levels, जहां पर कहीं ना कहीं बहुत बड़े बदलाव आए हैं जो निश्चय रूप से हमारे देश को आगे की तरफ अग्रसर करेंगे. रिफॉर्म्स इन स्कूल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर रिसोर्सेज, ताकि बच्चों को एक ही जगह बहुत अच्छे से सब कुछ पढ़ने को, समझने को, सीखने को मिले. डेवलप होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट अमंग स्कॉलर्स, इनोवेटिव पेडागोजीज टू बी एक्सप्लोर. ताकि बच्चे जो भी हैं उनका पूर्ण रूप से डेवलपमेंट हो, यानी संपूर्ण विकास हो, केवल मानसिक नहीं, केवल शारीरिक नहीं, केवल बौद्धिक नहीं, केवल आत्मिक नहीं, बल्कि सभी तरह से उनका विकास हो सके। साथ ही में अगर हम कुछ नयापन नहीं करते हैं तो जहां हम वहीं पे ठहराव आ जाता है। इसलिए इनोवेटिव पेडागोजीज आर टू बी नेसेसरी। प्रोविजन ऑफ इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन, नेशनल असेसमेंट सेंटर फॉर परफॉर्मेंस असेसमेंट, ये इस समय लाया गया है NACPA, ताकि जितना भी डेवलपमेंट हुआ है उस सारे डेवलपमेंट्स को हम देख सकें। अब जो करिकुलर पेडागोजिकल फ्रेमवर्क है, जहां पर 10+2+3 था, अब वो बदलकर कुछ इस तरह से हो गया है कि शुरू के 5 साल, फिर 3 years, देन 3 years एंड देन 4 years, तब जाकर के एक बच्चा हम शिक्षित या फिर एक स्किल्ड पर्सन हम मान सकते हैं। जब हम मिनिमम क्वालिफिकेशन की बात करते हैं तो टीचर एजुकेशन के लिए, तो यहाँ पर अब थोड़ा सा बदलाव लाते हुए जो डिग्री है वो 4 year इंटीग्रेटेड कोर्स के नाम से आ रही है, जो 2030 तक रहेगी। यानी ये जो सिस्टम है, इट विल कंटिन्यू अप टू 2030. Now, assignment of various roles for state bodies and institutions also have been amended, और वहां कहीं कुछ ना कुछ चेंजेस लाए गए हैं। When we talk about the key principles of NEP, तो respect for diversity and native context, यानी कि मातृभाषा, यानी कि मातृता, यानी कि हमारा देश, यानी जहां हम रहते हैं, ये सारी ही चीजें अलग अलग होते हुए भी एक चीज को हम प्रस्तुत कर सकते हैं, उसमें पढ़ सकते हैं, उसमें समझ सकते हैं, उसमें आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। इक्विटी एंड इंक्लूजन, सभी लोगों का साथ होना, जैसे कि PM कहते हैं सबका साथ सबका विकास, यानी सबका एक साथ होना आवश्यक है। कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन, जब तक कि सभी लोग पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते हैं, यानी सबको साथ लेकर चलना अनिवार्य है। यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, ऑफ कोर्स आजकल जो युग है जो टेक्नोलॉजी से जुड़ा हुआ है, अगर वहां पर हम लैंग्वेज को बैरियर बनाते हैं तो हम टेक्नोलॉजी यूज नहीं कर सकते। तो टीचिंग लर्निंग में जब हम टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करते हैं तो साथ ही में कहीं पर भी भाषा जो है उसको बीच में बाधक नहीं होना चाहिए। देन एम्फेसाइज ऑन कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग, यानी कि हमारे जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं उसको हम समझें रादर देन रोट मेमोराइजेशन, याद नहीं करें, समझें। समझेंगे तो वो ज्यादा दिनों तक रहता है दिमाग में। रिकॉग्नाइजिंग यूनिक कैपेबिलिटीज, जितनी भी हमारे अंदर छुपी हुई क्षमताएं हैं या बच्चों के अंदर छुपी हुई क्षमताएं हैं वो बाहर निकाल के लाना। क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग एंड क्रिएटिविटी, जब तक हम वास्तविक रूप से सोचेंगे नहीं, जब तक हम सक्षम नहीं होंगे अच्छी तरह से सोचने के लिए क्या सही है, क्या उपयुक्त है, किस वक्त उपयुक्त है, तब तक किसी भी चीज को हम समझ नहीं सकते या हम उसके बेसिस पर आगे कुछ भी डिसीजन नहीं ले सकते। तो क्रिएटिविटी, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग ही वो चीजें हैं जिनसे कि हम कुछ नयापन ला सकते हैं, जिनसे कि हम जो है कोई डिसीजन ले सकते हैं। देन कंटिन्यूअस रिव्यू, ये नहीं कि हमने एक बार क्लासेस शुरू कर दी तो साल भर बाद में ही कोई हमारा इवैल्यूएशन हो रहा है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, बल्कि कंटिन्यूअस रिव्यूज हैं जिसमें कि जो एजुकेशनल एक्सपर्ट्स हैं वो बार बार असेसमेंट करते रहेंगे। देन देयर इज ब्रिंग आउट द पोटेंशियल ऑफ ऑल लर्नर्स, जितने भी लर्नर्स हैं उन सबकी पोटेंशियलिटी ढूंढ के लाने, यानी क्या खूबियां हैं उनमें, क्या कुछ वो कर सकते हैं। ये की प्रिंसिपल्स हैं ऑफ NEP 2020। When we talk about the structure, academic structure which has been changed now, earlier it was 10 it was up to 8th class, then 10th class, then +2 means 12th class. Now the structure has been changed. 3 years Anganwadi Bal Batika from age of 6 to 8, then foundational year 2 years class 1 and 2, 6 to 8 ages, then preparatory for 3 years 3 to 5 class or age of 8 to 11, then middle class, then class to 8, 6 to 8, ages may be 11 to 14, then secondary 9 to 12, yani 14 to 18, age of 14 to 18. So this was the change in the academic structure.
Sorry
Yes.
to interrupt. Ma'am,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. Actually, the time is up.
Okay, this was the last slide for me.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Should I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. National Education Policy on a School Education says that fundamental literary numeracy is important. यानी सब कुछ सोचना समझना पढ़ना जरूरी है। देन curtailing ड्रॉप आउट रेट्स, किसी तरह से भाषा को जब हम लेकर के आ रहे हैं मातृभाषा को, तो ऑफ कोर्स ड्रॉप आउट रेट्स कम होंगे, फैसिलिटीज दी जा रही हैं, यूनिवर्सल एजुकेशन दी जा रही है। देन रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग स्कूल करिकुलम हम ऐसा बना रहे हैं जो आगे के लिए यूज हो सके। होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट के बारे में हम बात करते हैं लर्नर्स की। अर्ली चाइल्डहुड केयर एजुकेशन जो है हम बिल्कुल बेस में दे रहे हैं। एफिशिएंट रिसोर्सिंग, इफेक्टिव गवर्नेंस हम दे रहे हैं। इक्विटेबल इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन जिसमें सभी लोगों को साथ लेकर चला जा रहा है। सर्विस एनवायरमेंटल कल्चर जो है ये सब कुछ दे रहे हैं। एंड वी कैन से दैट yes, the NEP is very much effective and will be beneficial for all. This was all. Thank you so much for providing me the time and opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would request my fellow audience to ask any question if there is one from ma'am. To the podium.
I have a question to Dr. Meenakshi Sharma.
Yes, beta.
Actually, it takes a lot of effort to formulate these type of policies, but very little efforts are made to actually implement them on rural level. So, what, according to you, are the steps which are taken to implement this, and what are the problems that would be faced in that process?
Basically, the infrastructure is the basic problem there in the rural areas. Even then, the government has tried to reach to each and every village and each and every community. That is why communities have been included in this, as well as mother tongue or the regional language has been included in the curriculum, so that वहां गांव में जाकर के गांव की भाषा में गांव के लोगों के माध्यम से बच्चे अच्छी तरह से पढ़ सकें। एक प्रोविजन ये भी किया गया है कि उस गांव के लोगों को पहले वहां पर प्राथमिकता दी जाएगी अगर हम वहां पर उसके किसी टीचर की नियुक्ति करते हैं, माने अपॉइंटमेंट करते हैं, तो वहीं के जब लोकल टीचर्स वहीं के लोकल लोगों को वहीं के लोकल लैंग्वेज में समझाएंगे तो ऑफ कोर्स एनईपी जो है वो सक्सेसफुल होगी।
Thank you.
वेलकम बेटा।
One more, please.
Yes.
वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून मैम।
वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून बेटा।
मैम जैसे कि एनईपी 2020 को आए हुए 2 साल हो चुके हैं, मैम इसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन पे क्या वर्क हो रहा है मैम? कि मैम अब हमें उससे आगे बढ़ना है ना।
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। एनईपी 2020 को आए हुए अभी कुछ समय हो चुका है, लेकिन जैसा आप जानते हैं जो कुछ भी हम काम करते हैं उसमें कुछ ना कुछ समय लगता है। तो ऑफ कोर्स जब हम समय लगाते हैं तो जो फ्रूट्स निकल के आते हैं या जो आउटपुट निकल के आता है दैट मस्ट बी फ्रूटफुल, और ऐसा होता है। अभी इस समय एनईपी पर बड़े स्तर पर, चाहे वो एनसीईआरटी है, चाहे एससीईआरटी है, या फिर हम कहते हैं कि हमारे जितने भी बड़े इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं उन सब में काम हो रहा है, और योजनाएं बनते बनते कार्यान्वयन होते होते टाइम लगता जरूर है, लेकिन एक बार जब वो लागू हो जाती हैं, अब जैसा कि बात कही गई है एनईपी 2020 ये 22 से लागू हो जाएगा, तो वी शुड थिंक पॉजिटिव। अब ये 22 से लागू हो जाएगा या 23 में लागू हो पाता है फर्स्ट 2-3 मंथ्स में, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि 1 महीने के लिए 2 महीने के लिए है, बल्कि ये 2030 तक तो है ही। और जब हम कोई काम करते हैं तो उसका लेट इम्पैक्ट भी होता है, मे बी आगे तक चले, अगर उसका जो हमारा आउटपुट है वो बहुत अच्छा आता है, बहुत फ्रूटफुल होता है, सबके लिए उपयोगी होता है, तो वो आगे भी बढ़ाया जा सकता है। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि नीति बन रही है कार्यान्वयन दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है, तो बन रही है, इस पर काम चल रहा है और इस पर जल्दी ही ये लागू भी हो जाएगी।
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, beta. Any more questions?
Any more questions? Thank you, ma'am. Let me revise the rules first. You will be given 10 minutes in total, and after 5 minutes, a buzzer sound will be played for you. If it doesn't end, then after 2 minutes and 2 minutes, you have to wind up. Thank you. For the second presentation, I would like to invite Dr. Preeti Srivastava and Ms. Malika Ghai from Kamal Institute of Higher Education and Advanced Technology, Delhi, to present their paper on the topic Dignity of Teachers and the Teacher Education vis-a-vis NEP 2020.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, respected chairperson and one and all present here. I am Malika Ghai and my mentor is Dr. Preeti Srivastava ma'am. And my sub-theme of today's topic is Dignity of Teachers and Teacher Education with regard to NEP 2020. Coming towards the abstract, the National Education Policy NEP 2020 recognizes and identifies teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. And mainly our paper focuses on analyzing the views on dignity of teachers and teacher education given in the new education policy, and it considers the feedback of school teachers, pupil teachers, and the teacher educators. Coming towards introduction, teachers, we know that they truly shape our children's future and thus the future of our nation. So because of this noblest role of a teacher, so a teacher was the most respected member of the society in India, and only the best and brightest became the teachers. The policy also mentions that innovative formats like school complex, rationalization of schools, they will bring an effective learning environment for the students. Certain other things were discussed in new education policy, like the concept of master instructors and national mission for mentoring. And the teachers who are using new and innovative methods, they should be recognized as per new education policy. Coming towards the objective, so our objective is to study the feedback of school teachers, pupil teachers, and teacher educators on dignity of teachers and teacher education with regard to the new education policy of 2020. The methodology that we have used is that the target participants again were the school teachers, pupil teachers, and teacher educators. In the form of questionnaire, we collected the data and the responses pie chart were generated and analyzed. Coming towards the data analysis part. Okay, so as we can see here that 95.7% of our participants agree that teachers' role in shaping the future of children will play a very important role. And there are few people like 3.2% who have a neutral view. So we can say that people having a neutral view may not have read the new education policy properly, or maybe they are unaware of this policy. And next, we can see that majority of our participants agree that high respect for teachers and high status of the teaching profession must be restored so as to inspire the future teachers. Here we can see that to restore the dignity of teaching profession, most of our participants agree that motivation and empowerment of teachers is the basic requirement in the current education system. Also here you can see that 92.6% of our participants agree that empowerment of teachers is required so that they can pass on their skills and ethics to their students. Some of them have a neutral view for the same. Now, moving towards the next, most of our participants also agree that standardized entrance tests, which are conducted by NTA, that should be conducted in all the universities for admissions in the teacher education courses. Next, we can see here that 50% of our participants believe that strict action should be taken against the standalone teacher education institutions. And some of them have a neutral view and some also disagree with the same. Here we see that 59.6% of our participants believe that 50 hours should be given by the teachers for continuous professional development. 30.9% have a neutral view and rest disagree with this. And also, majority of our participants agree that performance appraisal for each stage should be carried out on a periodic basis so that they will get motivated and bring quality in education at every stage. And it will really help them to update their knowledge. Okay, now, talking towards next. Majority of our participants agree that multidisciplinary and integrated teacher education programs should be made available. Also, most of our participants also believe that innovative formats like school complex and rationalization of schools will create an effective learning environment, and it will help the students to learn more. Here we can also see that we have a concept of master instructors, like traditional, there are experts like traditional local arts for teaching local arts, music, carpentry, etc. Also, national mission for mentoring was discussed, and here we can see that most of our participants say that 2-year B.Ed program is better and that only should be considered. Like most of our participants have agreed. Some are there who agree with the 4-year integrated B.Ed program. This is the summary table. Coming towards the conclusion part, the main findings of our paper were that standardized entrance tests should be conducted by NTA. Innovative formats like we have discussed, school complex, that should be adopted. Performance appraisal should be carried out to improve the quality of teaching, and teachers who are doing extra work for improving the quality of teaching, they should be recognized. They should be acknowledged for their work. And the national mission for mentoring was also discussed, that it is a good recommendation of new education policy, and therefore national mission for mentoring is good recommendation, in which a large pool of outstanding senior or retired faculty, including those with the ability to teach in Indian languages and willing to provide short and long-term mentoring support to university and college teachers. So this is all about National Mission for Mentoring. Next, coming towards master instructors, and most of our participants also agree that this will also help the students in learning new skills like carpentry, traditional music, art, etc. Some other findings of our research paper were like 2-year B.Ed program is preferred over 1-year and 4-year by majority of them. Then teachers' role in shaping the future of children will play an important role as per new education policy. And high respect for teachers and high status of the teaching profession that must be restored so as to inspire our future teachers. And to restore the dignity of teaching profession, motivation and empowerment of teachers is basic requirement in the current education system. And it is also required so that the teachers can pass on their skills, knowledge and ethics to their students. Therefore, majority of our participants were in favor of the reforms of the dignity of teachers and teacher education with regard to new education policy 2020. Now, these are some of the references that we have used. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. I would request my fellow audience to ask any questions if they have any.
My question to Ms. Malika is hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So my question to you is, as you talked about how teachers should be educated, like the teacher education part, the dignity part should come from the teacher's perspective or like the way you talked about National Mission for Mentoring, right?
Yes,
So the
right.
dignity of teachers is among the teachers. They are respecting each other, right?
Yes,
How
right.
kind of understanding this dignity of teacher, because teachers are taken for granted if you look at it.
Yeah, right, right.
Right. So how this dignity could be brought forward, the word dignity that I'm talking about. You talked so much about the education purpose.
Yes.
That I understood. The dignity part, if you could explain.
डिग्निटी पार्ट अगर हम बच्चों के हिसाब से देखें तो सबसे पहले बच्चों को सिखाना पड़ेगा कि रिस्पेक्ट कैसे करनी है टीचर्स की, क्योंकि टीचर्स की रिस्पेक्ट जनरली वही होता है कि फॉर ग्रांटेड लिया जाता है, हमेशा से हमने देखा है। और अब हम जब खुद पढ़ते हैं तो हमें पता चलता है अच्छा टीचर्स का काम कितना होता है। तो उनको रिस्पेक्ट देना पहले बच्चों को सिखाना होगा हमें, लाइक वो भी बचपन से हम शुरू करते आएंगे कि हाँ कि टीचर्स की रिस्पेक्ट कैसे देते हैं, सो दैट इज लाइक डिग्निटी। तो
ओके, सो हाउ डू यू थिंक ये सिखाना वाला कौन सिखाएगा आपको, आपके?
टीचर्स मेन वही होगा, टीचर्स बचपन से ही सिखाएंगे, पेरेंट्स घर में सिखाएंगे कि एक टीचर का रोल जो होता है वो, और होता है धीरे धीरे हमें खुद समझ आ जाती है टीचर्स का जो होता है ना रोल, हमें धीरे धीरे अपने आप, जैसे आज टीचर्स रहे हम अपने टीचर्स को याद कर रहे हैं, आज अपने स्कूल के टीचर्स को, कॉलेज के टीचर्स को, हमें खुद वो, हम जब बड़े होते हैं हमें खुद समझ आता है कि हाँ हमने जो भी आज तक हम जो भी हैं वो शायद अपने टीचर्स की वजह से हैं। तो मे बी धीरे धीरे हमें समझ भी आने लग जाता है और कुछ शायद हमें सिखाया भी जाता है बाय आवर पेरेंट्स एंड आवर टीचर्स।
ओके, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful
Thank-
presentation.
थैंक यू सो मच।
Now I will invite here Ms. Meenu, research scholar from Sharda University, Greater Noida, present her paper on the topic Teaching Competencies at School Horizon, a systematic literature review.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am. You can.
Wait. Is it visible, ma'am?
Ma'am, you can change it from F9 function as well to the main full screen view.
Is it on full screen, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
May I continue?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, a very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, a very happy Teachers' Day to all the educationists present here. My name is Meenu, a research scholar from Sharda University, Greater Noida. We all are here gathered
Sorry to
on the
interrupt.
case.
Switch on your camera.
Wait, ma'am. Now is it okay, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Fine. I can continue.
thank you. Okay, my sub-theme on this national conference is teaching competencies at School Horizon, a systematic literature review. First of all, I would like to discuss my abstract. That is, as we all know, the NAP 2020 is going on, and it says about the teachers that teachers truly shape the future of our children. And wait, ma'am, actually, I have some problem. Okay, sorry for inconvenience. Okay, as NAP 2020 exhausts, that teachers truly shape the future of our children. So therefore, the future of our nation, thereby implying that the quality, competence, and character of the teachers undoubtedly play a most significant role in our nation building. And you know what? The competence is the most significant factor among all the basic traits of a teacher. That's what mean a competence is the ability to do something successfully and efficiently. And it is really rightly said that it doesn't matter what a teacher says, writes, it is what he is and what he does. So the present study explored the various factors of competency and review of the studies taken up on the several issues like soft skills, sense of humor, professional competence of teachers and all. So nearly 10 papers review and analyzes systematically, and the researcher review critically analyzed various national, international research papers to find out the perspective avenue for further research in this field of teaching competence. So if I say the main crux of my study is to focus the key competencies that influencing the teacher's attitude at school level. So if I say that the progress of the nation is highly dependent on the quality of human resources on a quality human resource who is able to absorb the knowledge and techno-savvy and who has its devotion to its services. And it is really rightly said that a teacher's role is like an ever-flowing river, which has to flow every second. So a teacher has not only to show the way, but also to lead the learner toward their final and ultimate goal with great zeal and enthusiasm. So NEP 2020 recognizing the power of teacher and makes provision to alleviate the dismal conditions of teacher education, which are really responsible for the lack of teacher quality and motivation, and promotes the R&D for academic as well as professional growth. So if I say what is teaching competence, so it refers to the right way of conveying units of knowledge, application, and skills to the student. A teacher has to perform the various roles and responsibilities inside as well as outside the classroom to modify the lives of learner in a productive manner. So just because of the time constraint, we must focus the role and responsibility of the teachers, which are to be performed inside the classroom for the way of planning and delivering the subject matter. So now it's the need and significance of my research. As we all know that NEP 2020 says that research and innovations are central to growing and sustaining a large and vibrant economy, uplifting the society and inspiring a nation to achieve greater heights. This can be only achieved by a highly competent teacher. And for uplifting society and economy, we really need the committed teachers in society. So just like I quoted some studies of Pachyapan and Sadhya Kumar, Balakrishnan, etc., they assess teaching competence to explore various professional skills of the teacher. So these studies actually arouse the interest of teachers in teaching learning process and helps to modify the teaching strategies and method. But there is hardly any study that I have seen in various national and international research papers that so far has been conducted on teaching competence of teachers separately with respect to their self-esteem, sense of humor, and the classroom climate collectively. So the present research will be an attempt to explore these aspects in our classroom teaching process in order to be effective, competent teacher. So actually the urgency of the present task requires the need of such a study, which will definitely help to the teachers, educationists, and psychologists, like for having a better education system in our country and fulfill the requirement of NEP. So I really inspire from the recommendations of NEP. That's why arousing the interest of doing research in the field of teaching competence. Now, my objective of this study is to examine the relationship between different teaching competencies of the teachers, to analyze the net effects of different competencies on academic achievement of students, and to explore the barriers which affect the skills and competencies of teachers. So there are some discussions on the reviewed paper, like Jackie and Tanisa, etc., investigate the teacher sense of humor in Indonesia. That is an international research paper. They find that the humor was used as a communication strategy in the class. So this study depicts the fact that the teacher sometimes did not intend to be funny, but the student found her behavior to be humorous. So Balakrishnan says that teaching competency and soft skills of the high school teachers. His findings are that there is an insignificant difference in the level of teaching competency and in the acquisition of soft skills under the basis of gender. So result also reveal that there exists positive correlation between the acquisition of soft skill and teaching competency of high school teachers. Definitely, if there is a teacher who has really enriched with the soft skills, his or her competency of teaching really, enlighten the academic learning of the students. Now there is another research paper that are reviewed by Mr. Andriani and all. They revealed the influence of teaching competence on students' achievement in economic learning. So with the value obtained by t-test, researchers conclude that achievement of students affected by self-efficacy and teaching competence in their economic learning, and this is actually the real result in percentage form. So there is another research paper that was written by Mr. Shipper. Teachers' attitude, behavior, and knowledge are positively affected by the lesson study. So researchers revealed that the importance of integrating adaptive teaching in lesson planning, and it enhances the quality of lessons, helps teachers collaborate new methods of teaching, and formulate the different techniques of evaluation in the classroom. So now Mr. Singh and Agarwal also study the competency inventory of self-management among the prospective teachers of the school. Actually, the self-management competency is really very good for the professional qualified teachers to make their teaching learning process very effective, and it really, it really remove the hindrance in the time management in the classroom. There is another researcher, Mr. Shanti, that found the insignificant difference between teacher training irrespective of their gender with regard to their self-concept and their attitude towards the different dimensions of English teaching. It was inferred that the irrespective of gender, secondary grade teacher training students and teachers are insignificant in their attitude towards teaching, English teaching in total and its dimensions, commitment to teaching, skill competence, and subject knowledge, etc. And the major findings of the DMALO research found that there is an insignificant relation between academic performance and the self-esteem of students. And also family income doesn't have any direct impact on student achievement. Yet egoistic attitude is really developed among the students having high income, but the self-esteem in positive sense is not being developed. And last but not the least is Mr. Jakaria, that studied a multi-group invariance approach of STEM teachers, where he concluded the strong and direct effect of school climate on the self-efficacy of the teacher and their job satisfaction. Definitely a school climate is really a very, very important role playing in the academic life or in the professional life of a teacher to make their job satisfied. At last, I can conclude that I know the selected competencies for this paper really do not cover all the competencies that are necessary at the school level. But I think so this study hopefully guide us for better understanding of the nature of teaching competence. So after reviewing and critically analyzing all the research studies, it was found that...
Please wind it up a little faster, please.
Sure, ma'am. This one is my last slide. It was found that there is hardly any study on the self-esteem, sense of humor, and classroom climate collectively done in India. And it was also found that researchers were based on relationship depth of various variables. So only quantitative study were there, and the qualitative aspect was clearly missed up. So Actually, the main area of this review is to flesh out and illuminate the comprehensive and complex nature of competencies. And in addition, if I say so, the recent research actually interest in soft skill and classroom climate expanded the research topics, which not only acknowledge the social and cultural factors. So many studies stress towards attaining formal competencies like subject knowledge and teaching techniques. But now in this arena, in this modern era, the personal attributes of a teacher are of great importance so that the stressful environment of the class can be entertained with softness, and their sense of humor make the students who work with the confidence and zeal. So these are the references. Thank you so much for listening me so with patience.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would request my fellow audience to ask any question if there is any they have. Good afternoon, ma'am.
A very good afternoon, ma'am.
मैम जैसे हम अभी बात करते हैं कि जो टीचर्स का रोल है अभी जो ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम है वो कंटेंट प्रोवाइडर है, बट हम बात कर रहे हैं कि उनका रोल फैसिलिटेटर होगा, तो मैम उसके लिए उन्हें कंस्ट्रक्टिव क्लासरूम एनवायरनमेंट जनरेट करना पड़ेगा, बट मैम उसके बहुत सारे डिसएडवांटेजेस भी हैं, तो मैम टीचर अपने आप को कैसे कॉम्पिटेंट इनफ करे सो दैट ही और शी कैन क्रिएट अ कंस्ट्रक्टिव क्लासरूम and overcome all those problems which are faced during constructive classroom.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, constructive classroom के लिए definitely for the sake of the constructivism or for arising the constructivism among the students, we really need time. और टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट एक रियली बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर होता है स्कूल के अंदर. सो यू नो फॉर्मल तरीके से इन अ क्लासरूम भी डेफिनेटली हम डेप्थ में नहीं जा सकते, बट यस हमारा जो ये मॉडर्न पीरियड है ये हमारा वर्चुअल हो चुका है, ठीक है, और इसने ये बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज है टीचर्स के लिए भी और स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी. सो टीचर ये ट्राई करे कि 24 आवर्स कनेक्ट रहे अपने स्टूडेंट्स के साथ वर्चुअली, उन्हें प्रोजेक्ट्स प्रोवाइड करे, उन्हें असाइनमेंट्स प्रोवाइड करे, और हो सके तो डेफिनेटली टीचर्स जो हैं आज के टाइम में आप यूट्यूब पर सर्च करते हैं तो मोस्ट ऑफ टीचर्स जो है ऑनलाइन टीच करना स्टार्ट कर चुके हैं, तो वो अपने लेक्चर्स को रिकॉर्ड करें, अपने जो भी उन्होंने असाइनमेंट्स या कुछ टाइप के प्रोजेक्ट्स अगर वो बच्चों को देना चाहते हैं कि ताकि बच्चे अपनी सेल्फ पेस के साथ सीख सकें, आगे बढ़ सके, अपनी ग्रोथ कर सकें, तो वर्चुअली जो है वो अपने बच्चों के साथ बिल्कुल कनेक्ट हो सकते हैं. यही कहना चाहूंगी. टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट की वजह से आप एक फॉर्मल क्लासरूम में आप अच्छे तरीके से कंस्ट्रक्टिविज्म अप्लाई नहीं कर सकते.
मैम बट दिस पॉलिसी इज सेइंग कि हमें कंस्ट्रक्टिव अप्रोच को फॉलो करना है जिससे हम होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट कर सके बच्चों की, तो मैम फिर कैसे होगा?
मैम कंस्ट्रक्टिव, मैम ये बात है कि उन्होंने कह दिया है, डेफिनेटली बहुत सारी पॉलिसीज हैं जो थियोरेटिकल कुछ होती हैं, लेकिन प्रैक्टिकली जब आप मैदान में उतरते हैं तब आपको पता चलता है कि रियल जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं वो क्या है. आप भी जानते हैं, हम भी जानते हैं कि जो टाइम है, टाइम लिमिट आपकी रहेगी, मॉर्निंग 8 से लेकर आप 2:30 या 2 o'clock तक बच्चे को कितना करवा पाए, 45 मिनट से लेकर 1 hour तक आप नहीं करवा सकते. It is not a negative thought, it is a practical thought actually.
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ, so practically अगर हम देखें तो virtually जो है टीचर must be connected with the student, ताकि जो NEP 2020 है उसको भी हम अच्छे तरीके से implement कर सकें.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite here Miss Aishwarya V. Nair, student teacher, and Dr. C. Mudhukrishnan, assistant professor from the Department of Education, Central University of Karnataka, Kalaburagi, to present their paper on the topic Awareness Towards NEP 2020 among BA trainees.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. You can present your screen as well.
Ma'am, I don't have anything to present.
Sorry?
Ma'am, I don't have anything to present on the screen. Nothing to share. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to be here. I would like to wish everyone a happy Teachers' Day. I am Aishwarya V. Nair, a student teacher from Central University of Education. And today I'm here with the subtopic Awareness towards NEP among beer trainers. This is my subtopic. Now, when I was in my school days, I usually used to ask the question like, was there whether I would get to learn something new today? But no, I was pushed into part of a race. By studying like this, by rote learning, even if we came first, there were no advantages to it. Did we gain knowledge? Will we gain knowledge? No, never. But only the pressure rose. And now, because of NEP 2020, I can see that the students of the future generation or the upcoming students will get a very well platform for learning. Due to the fear of the hunter, the lion also performs as instructed. But such lion we call well-trained and not well-educated. In 1968, India's first national education policy came to existence under Indira Gandhi government. And on 1986, under Rajiv Gandhi government, India's second education policy came into being. On 1992, it was modified once again. And now, after 28 years, new education policy has come. And I'm so happy about it that on paper, it is mind-blowing. About the implementation, only time can tell. NEP 2020 was there. NEP was there in the 2014 BJP manifesto. And the main objective of NEP are to improve the quality of education, credibility of education, and addressing the gaps in implementation. Three most important changes in NEP 2020 where the HRD Ministry was now renamed as Ministry of Education. GDP investment in education has increased from 1.6% to 6%, and focusing on the gross enrollment ratio, it will be increased to 50% by 2035. The entire policy came with the motive to let the children choose what they are interested to study rather than following the rigid scheme that's been 20 years and making them ready for the real world. Ministry of Education, MHRD, Resource Development, recently came up with the National Education Policy 2020. The very aim of NEP 2020 is to make education holistic, flexible, multidisciplinary, and also to meet the needs of the present era. Education is responsible for the holistic development of society. The plight of a country depends on its education. An excellent and efficient teacher can change the fate of society and mobilize the awareness of student teachers or 2020. Now, the objectives that I have selected for this study were find out the level of awareness of BA trainers among NEP 2020, to find out the percentage of BA trainers lying in the three levels of awareness towards NEP 2020, and to find out the significant difference in awareness of BA trainers towards NEP 2020 in the terms of three attributes, variables. They are gender, locality, and stream. The hypotheses that I have selected are the level of awareness towards NEP 2020 among BA trainers is not high. Second one is there is no difference in the percentage of BA trainers found in levels of awareness towards NEP 2020. And the third is there is no significant difference in awareness towards NEP 2020 among BA trainers in terms of gender, locality, and stream. The research method that I adopted are the survey method, and the size of sample is 46 BA trainers from the Department of Education, Central University of Karnataka, Kalaburagi district, with the representation given to variables, namely gender, locality, stream, and parents' literacy. Awareness towards NEP 2020 was constructed by the investigator, and the tool comprised of 30 statements in the form of 5-point training scale and consisting of 23 positive and 7 negative items. In the scoring procedure, each item was given 5 marks as the high mark and 1 mark as low score. Thus, the maximum score in the test would be 150. The rating scale was administered among 46 BA trainers and re-administered among the same after a gap of 15 days. The correlation found between two was 0.88 is a high level of correlation. Thus, the reliability was ensured. The collected data was analyzed statistically through the percentage analysis, and the BA trainers, the number was 146, the theoretical mean was 45, and the obtained mean was 50. From this table, the framed and null hypothesis, the level of awareness towards NEP 2020 among BA trainers is not high, is rejected. And the percentage of peer trainers in 3 level of awareness towards NEP 2020, the moderate level, the frequency was 74 with the percentage 41%. Hence, the framed null hypothesis, there is no difference in the percentage of peer trainers found in 3 levels of awareness towards NEP 2020 is also rejected. Now, some suggestions are, the institution should arrange seminars and workshops of NEP 2020 for their teaching staffs. The government should arrange some seminars and workshops on NEP 2020 for government polytechnic college teachers. The government should arrange some seminars and workshops in NEP 2020 for government medical college teachers. And I would like to conclude that National Education Policy 2020 anticipates for the complete renovation of the school and higher education system. Education is the backbone of every individual and it determines the destiny of a nation. The authority may be profoundly affected by the presence or the absence of the same. The results of this study could directly or indirectly affect the NEP 2020's features. This research aids in changing the specification of framed policy. May the relevant authorities reevaluate the structure in light of the demands made by those who stand to gain from it. The school and the higher education systems are expected to undergo a full makeover as part of NEP 2020.
From where she share that? Miss Aishwarya, am I audible to you? Miss Aishwarya, there is a technical snag from side of you. You are requested to please fix it. Miss Aishwarya,
Changing the specifications of framed policy. The new era of education is very, yes.
you are requested to please fix your technical snag. No? Your voice is really breaking a lot. We are not able to hear you properly. Furthermore, I would like to request you to please share the screen. Whatever from wherever you are reading, you may please share it. Aishwarya, are you able to hear me? Miss Aishwarya, are you able to hear me? आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं?
Yes, ma'am.
So I request you to please share the screen so that we can see.
Okay, ma'am.
Wherever you have left from there you have to begin, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
The portion which is left, that needs to be shared only.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the network here is a bit troublesome. Sorry, ma'am.
And you can share your screen from the green button right in the middle, in the top down bottom. Share screen option. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Over it, and you can share your screen right away. Were you reading from your mobile phone or from the desktop from which you have joined the meeting?
Ma'am, I was reading from my mobile phone.
From where you were reading your paper?
Ma'am, from mobile phone, sir.
You can share from that also. Like there's an option right in the middle, share screen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Click on the entire screen option as well.
Ma'am, can you say it?
Oh, ma'am. Ma'am, it's okay. You can continue without sharing your screen.
Yes, ma'am.
But please switch on your camera.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 1 second, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Please continue. Can you hear? Am I audible?
Okay, ma'am. And is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it visible?
Your camera or the presentation?
Presentation.
No, ma'am, the presentation is not visible. You may continue it without it. It's okay.
So the percentage of BA trainers in 3 level of awareness towards NEP 2020, the moderate level was 31 to 90 and the frequency was 74. The percentage was 41%, and therefore the null framed hypothesis, there is no difference in the percentage of BA trainers found in 3 levels of awareness towards NEP 2020 is rejected. And I would like to offer some suggestions. The institutions should arrange seminars and workshops on NEP 2020 for their teaching staff. The government should arrange some seminars and workshops on NEP 2020 for government school teachers. And the government should arrange some seminars and workshops on NEP 2020 for the government medical college teachers. And the conclusion is, National Education Policy 2020 anticipates for the complete renovation of the school and higher education system. Education is the backbone of every individual and it determines the destiny of a nation. The authority may be profoundly affected by the presence or the absence of the same. A comprehensive strategy is necessary for the efficient implementation of new policies.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but please wind it up, please. A little bit faster.
What now?
Can you wind it up a little bit faster? We are out of time.
Yes, ma'am, it's finished. The school and the higher education systems are expected to undergo a full makeover as part of NEP 2020. This surge research aids in changing the specifications of the framed policy. The attitude of proficient teachers towards the new era of education era, NEP 2020, is very vital. And with that, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the audience to ask questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I have a doubt that since you said that teachers should be given the awareness of NEP, basically the trainees through seminars and sessions. But in the reality, when they go to school, like for example, for an internship, in the reality, the situation is a little different. For example, like if we have given them the training to use like ICT in their teaching process, but students are kind of like very much master the use of internet and use of ICT basically. As a teacher, how will we balance that technology and the training that we got so far about the ICT and its process?
I think that we should incorporate ICT into education, and by creating a kind of curiosity among the students and the BA trainers, by creating awareness towards the BA trainers, we can make them know the scope and the or the positive aspects of NEP 2020, and we can bring a change in the society, because for the past 20 years we've been following a rigid system, but with the advent of NEP 2020, we can make them aware that from henceforth we don't need to follow a rigid system. The students can choose whatever they want to study according to their interest. And when the student learn that they can choose subjects according to their interest, then automatically the students will be able to study in a better way, I think.
Thank you, ma'am.
Did that answer? Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Please mute your mic.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, last but not the least, I would like to invite Ms. Anusha J, student teacher with Dr. C. Muthukrishnan, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Central University of Karnataka, Kalaburagi, to present your paper on the topic NEP 2020, a vantage point of BA for BA Education, a survey. Please, ma'am, share your screen as well.
1 minute.
Sorry, ma'am, you are not audible. Can you repeat?
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible now, ma'am. Please share your screen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Sorry.
Is my screen visible, ma'am? Is it visible?
Just a second.
Yeah, is it visible?
Ma'am, you can switch to F9 mode as well to present it on full screen.
Pardon, can you repeat it once more?
The F9 mode or the presentation mode, right in the left side. F5, sorry. I'm so sorry, F5. Slideshow.
Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can I?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and a very happy Teachers' Day to everybody. I myself is Anusha J. I'm a B.Ed student from CU Karnataka, Kalburgi. Okay, my topic is that NEP 2020, a vantage point for teacher education, and I have chosen a survey method. Okay, these are my content. I'll be giving a brief about the abstract, then I'll go to the introduction, then I'll be defining the key words and the operational definition, then the statement, objective, significant, hypothesis, and delimitations, population and sample of the study, administration of the tool, then tool rules, reliability of the tools, suggestions, conclusions, and references. So my abstract in brief says that National Education Policy 2020 is an optimistic outbreak for the educational sector. That too, I'm concentrating more on the teaching community, mainly the teacher trainings. And I said that I have conducted the study on the BA trainees at the Department of Education, Central University of Karnataka. My introduction will be like NEP 2020 is a focal point for the teaching and learning sectors, and the whole educational sector is being prosperous through this development of NEP 2020. And even though the trust area, which is being maintained, is a multidisciplinary approach, but still it has an appreciative effect for the development or the all-round or the holistic development of the students as well as the teachers. And my key points are the vantage point and the teacher's education. By vantage point, what I mean is that it is an advantage or a support, and it can also mean much consideration given by the NEP 2020. That is, I state that much consideration is given to the teacher trainees or the teacher educators by NEP 2020. The teacher education is actually the policies, procedures, and provision designed for the development of the teacher education. And my statement, as I said, NEP 2020, a vantage point for teaching education. Now, the main objective is that the level is, I told earlier that it is an advantage or is an add-on point to the teacher education. This is my concept, and to what level is it satisfying? And by considering some of the background variables, I have conducted a survey, and based on that, the main significance of the study is that the revamping of already existing educational system through NEP 2020 and the whole teaching community being benefited, and how much is the awareness, the attitude, and the interest of the BA trainees towards. And my hypothesis is that to find out the level of vantage point in the teaching education, and with respect to different background variables, how is it different? And my thing is only restricted to Central University of Karnataka Department of Education, and not beyond that. And the population samples which I have taken is the students of Department of Education. And this is my sample distribution table, where I have taken four background variables, that is the gender, locality, qualification, and parent literacy. Based on that, I have divided the gender into two factors, male and female, locality, rural and urban, qualification as UG and PG, and the parent literacy as illiterate and illiterate. And the number of students being distributed is also there, as you can see. And the administration of the school. I have taken the permission from the authority, and I have briefed, before taking the survey, I have briefed the thing to my, fellow surveyors, and to my, samples. And most of them took 13 minutes to complete it. And it is like, in my questionnaire, there were 25 questions, in which that 18 was positive and 7 was negative. And each question I got with a 5-point scale reading, where first, that is strongly agree, that point goes 5 marks, and the strongly disagree point got 1 mark. So the total will be 125. The highest mark student could get will be 125, and the least would be 25. And I have done it twice letters, like before and after this, and I wanted to know the reliability of these things, their opinion. And in between 15 days, that reliability which was found is that that there was a slight deviation which was 0.66%. So I think that there was a high level of reliability. And this is the level which I considered, and the percentage. And my finding says that it's found that the level of vantage point in teachers' education is moderate. 71% of the people have approved, and I have came to the conclusion that it is a moderate level of vantage point is to a moderate level to the teacher educators. And I have considered the background variables also. And now we are going to this table where I have considered on the basis of different background variables, I have distributed the table as you have seen. And from this, I have considered different groups, that is male student, rural students, science stream students, and students illiterate. Like that, I have classified. And this is the mean score, that is male student 191.24, 82.85, 160.94, and 214.33. And to give some suggestions, as I have said that some of the students, like when I was going with the things, or when I was moving on, these people who have even doing a course of B.Ed have not been completely going through NEP 2020, or what are the policies there might have been, what is it, disparities, that this is not there or this is that there, like that is that. So some awareness or some suggestions for that, to improve that in the students, is that to conduct some workshops and all these things, and using some modern educational technologies to initiate, as somebody has said, ICT based education is online platform is a good method to what is it, demonstrate what all things are inside, or more seminars and different colleges, not only to B.Ed colleges but also to other government schools, teachers, or government colleges. We should create a awareness so that we can make a great difference. The field every it, I would say that whole essence of the people is that it is an innovative venture, and the vantage point is moderate. And as I have said that my what to say, paper conclusion is that it is a moderate level of vantage towards the thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I would request my fellow audience to ask a question if there is any. I guess it was really very clear from your presentation. Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you to all the presenters for their wonderful presentations. I would like to request my fellow audience, if there is any doubt or query in the forum, they can ask right now. No? Okay, thank you, ma'am. I would like to request our chairperson to give her valuable feedback to the presenters.
Good afternoon, everyone. There were 5 papers which I've heard. What I could say is all the papers were trying to analyze the role of teachers, especially, and the NEP 2020. And what I could say is there is a right kind of research pattern which I could see and infer from all the presentation. I'm really happy, and especially seeing student teachers who are trying to be teachers, who are B.Ed students, and the kind of projects they are conducting, and especially the suggestions were already adapted, and recently on 25th of August, the higher education institutions are also got to create some kind of awareness, solicitation, and other activities in the they're calling it Shiksha Parv actually. So most of the suggestion government is trying to inculcate or include in the regular teaching process, which will be, especially the higher education system were lacking. And what I could say is for Miss Meenu, the reviews you have taken, especially it was a very systematic literature review. And with the other papers, especially Dr. Minakshi, the way, of course, I know your professor yourself, the way you were conducting the session was really impressive. And Mallika and Ashwarya and Anusha, all the best. And this is what I wanted to say about all the presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As a token of appreciation for her time and valuable contribution, I would like to request Ms. Garima Bali ma'am to kindly present a vote of thanks to our today's session's chairperson.
First of all, happy Teachers Day to all. And thank you very much for your help, especially for students. And आप लोगों कोऑर्डिनेशन के बिना तो चीजें पॉसिबल नहीं थी और सबका कोऑर्डिनेशन मिला, टाइम मिला, सपोर्ट मिली तो ये इवेंट जो है वो सक्सेसफुल हो पाया। उसके लिए स्पेशली मैं थैंक यू फील करती हूँ सबको, ठीक है। एंड it has been such a honor to be a part of this event, wonderful event. On behalf of the NMC, I, Garima, would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to ma'am for coming here, for giving us your precious time. And I would like to thank Principal ma'am and all the participants and all the dear students for making this event successful. Thank you very much. And once again, thanks for helping us, for supporting us. आप लोगों की सपोर्ट के बिना, मेरे टाइम के बिना और मेरे फिक्स के टाइम के बिना ये इवेंट जो है वो सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो पाता। So once again, thank you very much.
Tell me, I will forget. Show me, I may remember. Involve me, I'll learn. With this quote given by Benjamin Franklin, may I thank you very much to all of you for your active participation in this seminar. I hope you have enjoyed and gained a very valuable information from the same. With this, the technical session number 4 comes to an end. Thank you so much. Thank you so to all the presenters as well. You all may leave, please. Thank you so much for your time and contribution.